Warning: due to the graphic content in this program, viewer discretion is advised.
I want you to take a moment and imagine this. You're a grandmother. It's a quiet Louisiana morning. You open your front door, and sitting on your front lawn is a large plastic bucket. Nothing special about it at first glance. Just a regular old white 13-gallon bin until you look inside. And what you find is your 6-year-old granddaughter's body. Bent, bruised, and lifeless. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't some twisted prank. This was a murder. And at the center of it was a woman named Bunnak Landon. But folks around Harahan just knew her as Hannah. She wasn't the child's mother. She wasn't her teacher or some stranger off the street. She was the girlfriend of the child's father. The woman they trusted enough to be around their little girl. That trust was a mistake. Bella Fontenelle was 6 years old, playful. She loved princesses. She loved her puppy. She had no idea that the woman in the house that night saw her as a problem. The evening started out like any other. Bella's father had custody for the night. He picked her up, brought her home, and settled in. Bunnak was there. She lived in the same house, slept under the same roof, ate dinner at the same table, and yet sometime after that child drifted off to sleep. Bunnak Landon decided that little Bella didn't deserve to wake up. She strangled her, and not in some sudden burst of rage. This wasn't wild or erratic. It was deliberate, intimate, hands-on. She had to look that little girl in the face as she took her last breath. Then, with the kind of calm that would make your blood freeze, she put Bella's body in a plastic bucket. Not a bag. Not a box. A household bucket like you'd carry laundry in or use to mop the floors. She dragged that bucket for blocks on foot through a quiet suburban street in the middle of the night. There's footage of her doing it. The street's empty. No cars. No witnesses. Just Bunnak, walking, bucket rolling behind her. Like a woman taking out the trash. But she wasn't taking it to the dump. She was delivering it to Bella's grandmother. The mother of Bella's mother. She left the child's corpse, her own boyfriend's daughter, on that woman's lawn. Let that sit for a second. She didn't just kill the child. She weaponized her body. When the grandmother woke up, she didn't know what she was looking at. At first she thought it was an animal. Then maybe something from the garbage. But as she looked closer, she realized what she was staring into. Bella's tiny body, folded into that plastic pail. This wasn't just evil. It was calculated cruelty. And it didn't end there. Police quickly turned to Bunnak. Her car was at the house. She was nowhere to be found. But she wasn't running. No aliases, no stolen cars. Nope. She had checked herself into a hospital claiming she was having a mental health episode, playing the distressed damsel role, while a child lay dead in her delivery. When detectives searched her devices, they found a breadcrumb trail of searches. How long does it take for a body to decompose in water? What happens if you kill someone in Louisiana? And can you get the death penalty for murder? She knew exactly what she was doing. And more importantly, she knew exactly what the consequences could be. Now, let's talk about the trial. Her lawyers tried the childhood trauma angle. Claimed she'd suffered through the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia. That she had undiagnosed PTSD. That the scars from war had bled into her adulthood. That she wasn't evil, just broken. The jury didn't flinch. Neither did the judge. Because trauma explains behavior, doesn't excuse murdering a child and placing her body like a calling card. The judge called her actions monstrous. The jury deliberated for just a few hours. And the sentence? Life without parole for second-degree murder, plus 80 more years for obstruction. That's right. Even if she somehow beat the life sentence, she still wouldn't see daylight. And here's where I step back, as I often do, and ask, what does this say about the world we live in? It says the evilest women don't always look the part. They're not always loud, or angry, or ranting in public. Sometimes, they sit quiet. Smile at your child. Offer to help carry the groceries. And when you look away, they strangle innocence behind closed doors. We talk a lot about monsters in our culture, but most monsters wear masks. And Bunnak Landon wore hers long enough to slip into the lives of people who trusted her and betray them in a way that'll never heal. And before anyone paints her as a victim, let me remind you, Bella was the victim. Bella was the one with her life taken. Her future ripped away. Her final resting place. A bucket in a front yard. That's not PTSD. That's not confusion. That is evil, plain and simple. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe some women are capable of unimaginable darkness. And in this case, she didn't just cross a line. She poured gasoline on it, struck a match, and walked away as the world burned behind her. This has been another installment of Women Are Evil Too. I'm Vanessa Hartwell, and I'll keep showing you these faces. The ones that don't fit the narrative. The ones we're not supposed to talk about. Because evil doesn't care what gender you are. And monsters. They wear lipstick too. Like, subscribe, and keep your eyes open.